tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your number one source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Total Divas After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We are here doing Season 3, Episode 2, Mo Marriage, Mo Problems. It is a very, very sunny day here in Los Angeles, and we are hot, and so is this show.
Yeah.
It was a good one. Fizzle.
On fire.
I am Kaori Takee, and joining me,
Hello, I'm Danielle Pascente.
next,
I'm Charlotte Broadbent.
Well, and
I decided to sing that.
you gotta sing moving forward for the rest of this after show.
Oh.
All your opinions only count if you sing.
Got it. Good start.
So before we head in, overall thoughts of this particular one?
The drama's heating up.
I was about to say, we picked
it
up
was
some
good.
steam on this one.
Yeah, I'm liking the season so far.
Yeah, this season was like, let's get to it.
Yeah,
into
right
it.
away.
Yeah.
I like it.
So real quick, there was no mention, not much of Rosa Mendez, just that she is gonna let the seamstress have more creative leeway. And I wonder what that means for Rosa.
Lord.
You
Yeah.
wonder.
Less
that
costume
mean?
than more.
Less
I'm
costume,
sure.
yeah.
I had one question because I wasn't here last week. Because you guys are like WWE experts, no offense.
She's
No, I admitted it last week. I asked them questions as well.
Is she good?
I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Because she's made out to be terrible.
That's
And I
what
just
was
wondered.
saying.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying last week, that they made her look like her losing was a bad
Yeah.
thing, but it wasn't. It was a fine match, and
Right.
she wrestles pretty well. I mean, on a scale of other divas, I mean, she's better than Eva Marie, obviously.
I knew you were going to compare her to that. That's not a great person
That's
to
not a
compare
great-
to.
yeah.
Do you think she's
So
better
is a
than
rock.
Cameron? Which
Yeah.
we will get
I
to.
do
Good
think
question.
she's better than Cameron
Okay.
inside the ring.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know about
inside the ring.
personality-wise, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was weird. The way they edited last episode, they made it seem like it was bad that she lost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
not really the big deal.
Yeah.
TV.
We just got a little bit of Rosa Mendez in this particular episode. We also got just a little bit of Eva Marie. I think we're probably going to resume her conflict with her walking down the aisle, whether it be traditional or not. We'll see probably future
Looks
episodes.
like it's next
Yeah.
week.
yeah.
Do you guys like them breaking up the cast a little bit like this?
I kind of do it because if they put it all together at once, it would be kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, you only get like 2 or 3 minutes with each person if they
Yeah.
do it that way. I kind of like it.
And
Because
I
we
feel
didn't really
like-
see Natty either this episode.
We didn't
Yeah.
get Natty.
Yeah,
no.
and I feel like Eva Marie, Natty, and Eva Mendes were big parts of last week. And
Yeah.
so maybe they'll
Yes.
just come back every other week and they'll kind of
Yeah.
shift storylines.
Yeah, like
dig it.
last week we didn't really get the Funkadactyls, but then this week it was pretty much the big
Almost all.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, let's talk about the Funkadactyls because that was the big thing, the big issue going on because we got Naomi and Cameron. I'm just going to call them by their slash names right now at this point because we got this, guys. So, so they're a tag team, and Mark Carano calls them in and says basically that he wants to kind of split them up where Cameron is more of a supporting role and she's her valet, and they want to put Naomi really in the spotlight and potentially have the Divas Championship title. Cameron's kind of devastated because, you know, she really believes in herself as she should, but she doesn't have as much experience as Naomi, but Naomi's rocking in the ring.
Heck
so
yeah. It's interesting because at first she tries to take it like a champ too. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, you know, I can get behind this. This will be fine." And like literally one match into it, she's like, "You know what?
This isn't going to fly.
Way to give it a chance."
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was odd.
Well, I mean, she was already kind of conflicted where she went to the music studio to make some music, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's obviously her venting place.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go bye.
Girl bye.
There's so many girl bye references in this episode.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's just my favorite line.
Did you guys notice she went from like semi-blonde to super blonde in this one episode?
Well, they always have those weird like confession room areas, you know, that are obviously filmed way before, or, I'm sorry,
Or
way after. And so usually they always look super different inside the same episode. Even just like a lack of like makeup or a different type of makeup. I'm like, what happened? Oh, this is not the same day.
And even in the confessional, she changed. She went from real straight hair to then blonde or
like
curly.
dark roots.
Yeah.
And then blonde, big, voluminous curls.
Yeah.
I like her more blonde, I think.
Really? I'm the other way around.
Me too.
I like seeing the brunette come out.
Me too.
Yeah. I just think it works better. I just have this thing, like, no offense, guys, if you do it, all for you, but like, for example, for me, if I'm Asian, I don't like seeing Asian girls with super blonde hair. I think they look better with like brunette hair.
Totally. Yeah.
Does that
I'm
make
with you on
sense?
that. Yeah.
It all depends on their style.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so.
And again, Eva Marie dyed her hair like pink, red.
But she does look gorgeous as a brunette as well.
She does, yeah. She does.
I like the red though.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
notice her as much if she wasn't red.
That's
exactly.
I don't think.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that's true. So Naomi is, rocking in the ring, as you guys saw. And Cameron says, you know what? I want to go backwards. I want to go to NXT and develop my skills, because I initially came into WWE like a lot earlier. I got into it a lot earlier than I should have been. So now she wants to go backwards, risk losing her career, and ultimately she's risking losing her friend Naomi.
I have to say this is so commendable, but I feel like you two may have a different opinion because you are very into the WWE. But for me, when I was hearing her out when she was talking to Mark, for me, if you want to go backwards and develop your skills and you're admitting to that flaw of yours, then more respect to you.
Totally
Like,
agree.
It's not like Eva Marie was like, let me go backwards and try to actually be
Yeah.
a real wrestler.
Yeah.
She actually wants to be as good as Naomi, and she feels that if she goes backwards. So how does that look, though, to you guys?
The only thing that complicates it for me, because I agree it was commendable. I mean, that's what JoJo basically happened
Yeah.
to JoJo,
Yeah.
although we have never heard from her again. Not even on nothing.
But don't you take along like a couple, like, isn't it 7 years that you're supposed to be there for?
I think 2 years now, right?
Oh, I was way
I mean,
off.
it's all about how you progress for yourself. Like if you're more athletic, then you can get through it quicker,
Yeah.
etc. But yeah, I think it's only weird because she is jeopardizing Naomi in that same fact, where she's saying, yeah, I want to go back to NXT, but they need to have a breakup or something before that could happen. I think that they may have built it up a little more than it actually is, because they can just write them, they have a fight, and then suddenly they break up and we don't see Cameron again. That can very easily happen. They do actually break up in wrestling. So I don't, but not in this way that they're talking about it on the show. So I'm a little confused.
But do you think that Naomi has some valid points in the fact that Cameron didn't kind of approach her first to tell her, look, this
Absolutely.
is my plan,
Yeah.
right?
See, I agree with that. Yes, she didn't talk to, I can't call it, Trinity.
Okay,
Who's
sure.
that, Naomi? That's so confusing.
Yeah, Naomi, Trinity, and then Arya.
And then Cameron. Okay. It's so confusing. It makes me think so much when they switch names. But when I do think that she maybe should have, she should have consulted Trinity. But the way that she is admitting that she needs more training, she wants to do that so she can potentially be the Divas Championship. She's risking a lot to go get more training that she feels like she didn't have. I think that Trinity should support her and say, look, you're willing to go a step back to try and be the best that you can be. And I guess it's different. I guess I don't understand the wrestling part of it as much, where you're like a duo, that's your thing and you have to break up. And yeah, I don't really get that. But
as with anything, it's about presentation, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that she said it to Mark first before saying it to Naomi, I think that's really what's bothering her. Not the fact that it's happening, but the fact that she's hearing it post fact.
Yeah.
So she's like, what the hell?
But how can Trinity be happy for her when, Ariane's literally just going, like, waving her pom-poms on the side. Like, that's not what a wrestler wants to do. They want to be in the ring doing what they do. And I feel like when you get pushed to the sidelines, that's when you kind of get stuck there. Or am I wrong?
I think that the fact that Naomi reacted like that was only initially because it was a deer in headlights moment. So
Yeah.
obviously you're going to be shocked, and your first response is, you're leaving me? Like, they're best friends pretty much through the end. All of a sudden, she didn't know anything about this situation that was about to happen. And I think when it simmers down, she's probably going to have to support her, or she will support her if she's a true friend.
And I guess Trinity was the one that was sat at dinner, so sad about how that they were breaking up. And I guess it was kind of a shock and a kick in the teeth that it's like, oh, well, I was bothering so much about this, not thinking about myself, that I can really do this. I know I can do this, but I'm still sad about what's happening. And then Ariane's going on saying, well, peace. I'm going to do my thing.
I mean, it's such a huge risk and so much balls on her part to be doing that because, as he said, Mark Carano said, you might never come back.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
I
happens.
gotta hand it to
her.
her. It was kind of awesome.
I don't know if I'd have the balls to do that. I'd be like, I'll stay put. I'll be Dale.
She is successful. Exactly.
You know?
And so for her to do that, I was like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
So.
But, you know, she also could practice a little more. If she could have went to practice in the wrestling ring rather than go sing some songs, I think, you know?
That's so true.
Yeah.
And can you not go practice by yourself and ask Trinity to help you practice and do more without going back down?
That's what I'm kind of wondering. What do you think?
You can't really wrestle by yourself.
Well, no, I mean, like, can't she, like,
True.
just put...
That's very true.
That would be a different show.
Whole new kind of training.
But Dale, do you think, like, she can potentially just practice more with her partner?
I don't know exactly how it works. They're on the road so much that they don't really get their free time. They're definitely taking it to run home or do laundry or drive to the next city even. I mean, we talked to Eva Marie and, you know, I was ready to criticize how awful she is in the ring, but they literally don't even give her the time to go practice. Like, what we see on Raw or all the other wrestling shows is that is her practice. So I think they're just so under the stress of the schedule that they probably don't get a chance to do it unless they say, hey, time out, I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna practice and then I'll be back whenever I'm better.
So I can see even more where she's coming from then, because Eva Marie, I don't think she cares as much about, I may be wrong, but as much about the wrestling. I think she loves the whole idea of what's going on.
But but I have to cut in because I feel like Eva Marie works out hard. She does. I know that she does. Even if it doesn't pertain to wrestling, I see Eva Marie working out, putting in her time to go to the gym, to eat healthy, to do all these things. I cannot imagine Cameron.
Okay.
Yes. Getting after her workouts and eating healthy. Like, her free time probably consists of doing laundry, hanging out with Vinny, hanging out with the cats, or whatever she's doing.
She looks really healthy, though. She looks
they're in such good shape that I feel like you have to be on some kind of a healthy eating schedule and you have to work out. You don't look that fine-tuned and not be doing something.
Unless you're blessed.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But
all right.
anyways,
let's talk about someone who's injured. That was a really bad segue. I'm laughing. Let's talk about Brie and her hubby Bryan, because they have a new home now. And Brie initially comes off as like a horrible horrible woman who just wants to like totally change everything, and she wants to do it her way. And they kind of get in an argument. This is the first time I actually see Bryan Danielson say, look, the wedding was for you, everything was basically for you, so let's compromise pretty much.
And the things he wants are not like a man cave, by the way.
Right.
You know, it's like
He just
solar
wants some solar
panels.
panels.
but by the way, solar panels are ridiculously expensive.
They are coming down in price.
But I mean, I would rather build my man a man cave than him be like, can we get some solar panels? I'd be like, what?
It's like, I could have a pool for that.
Do what?
Did you see that? This is so off topic, but did you see that solar panel? I think it was in Arizona I think it was in Arizona that like burned a bunch of birds because it like reflected off the light, and like birds that flew over it just would like sizzle. Pretty bad.
Oh, I can't believe you read that.
Brie would not like that. Oh, Bryan.
No.
Talk about that being like a
You should write a letter to them.
They just hold a pot so they catch the birds and eat them. That'd be fine, right? That's green
fine.
living. That is green living.
Not if you're vegetarian.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, Bryan and Brie are kind of in a tiff, debating how the house should be treated when Brie and Bryan he gets an MRI, and then he has a shoulder injury that he has to have surgery for, and that's basically going to take him out for a while, even longer than they expected him to. So now they're not only going to have income problems, but also Brie comes to the realization that what matters is her husband and his health and not the house. So what do you guys think about this?
I don't buy the income problems. I've had a really hard time with this and I looked it up. Brie makes $280,000 a year and Bryan makes $1.1 million a year. So and we're talking about
huge
house
difference.
upgrades.
Yeah.
It's
Is
not
that, is that base or what is that? Do you
Base,
know?
gross, net.
that's net, I think.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, is that inclusive of his merch and different things? Do you know, because that it's such a huge scale for them, depending off.
It
that
didn't
kind of
really
stuff.
give the scales. I was honestly just looking at all of their incomes.
Okay, so it's probably combined.
Yeah,
Total. Okay.
but if they're combining the two of their incomes, so just say that those are kind of ballpark figures.
Yeah.
And they purchased real estate in Arizona, which, by the way, is
Cheap.
very, very cheap. And from the looks of their house, it probably was cheaper because it's not redone.
It's very
not
humble.
at all
And
redone.
it's just a bungalow. It's not like a big fancy
Over the top.
place on
Yeah.
the beach like Nikki and John have, or his mansion in Tampa.
Yeah.
Nikki and
It's-
John's house is.
I
Yeah,
know. It's like,
it is.
Yeah.
So
can I
cool.
have the closet, please? I'll be fine with it.
Yeah,
their
this isn't what
place
I
is
expected
amazing.
from. I was surprised by Brie and Bryan, but sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was just my thing is this really about money problems? Like, why can't they all do everything?
Yeah.
Why can't they?
I think it is. I mean, surely a little bit of it is storyline, but not being on the show, you are paid more for actually wrestling at a show. You get like a base rate. This is all from my understanding. I could be totally wrong.
No,
but-
you're probably more
So
right
never
than I.
wrong.
You get a
You're
base.
probably
You
more
get a
right
base
than I.
rate guarantee, and then every show that you actually wrestle at, you get like wrestling live money or whatever, like a bonus, we'll call it.
Right.
And then your merch sales. So if you're gone, he's still gone right now. And this happened a month after WrestleMania.
He's been gone for
so
a
he's
while.
been gone for a while already, and we don't have a return date for him yet. But so he's selling less merch because you're on TV less. I mean, it's probably not as bad as they paint it to be.
Yeah.
But if you are expecting 1.4, let's say, and you only get 700,000. Yeah, that's still a lot of money, but
life
it's
is
all
not
relative. or
inclusive
whatever.
of all the years they have worked. I mean, think
Oh, yeah.
about how long they've
If they
been
saved,
in. Yeah, if they've saved, which it strikes me
Seems
like
like
they
they
would.
would.
And
Huh.
especially Brie. I was surprised that with her saying that she has been saving for so long and this is the first house she'd purchased, I was surprised by the house. I mean, she can afford a lot. I can't imagine their
I agree
mortgage
with
being
you.
that.
I think they're just very humble people.
Yeah, and
which
they're
is nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that when they were shopping, she told Nikki, "You have to look at the price tag."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was looking at some pot. I don't even know what it was. Something that probably wasn't very expensive at all.
There's a lot of really high-paid wrestlers that have gone through really awful hard times financially because they just spent like they didn't know
Like they
what money
bloated.
was.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
so I kudos to them for actually having the wherewithal to think about their future. So whatever they're doing, I'm sure a lot of it is storyline.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do think
Thought it
it
was
can
over the
surprise
top.
you either way. You were planning on that bonus money and it's not coming
That's
until you
true.
get back up off the couch.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the record, Brie said that the house is 1,400 square feet, so it's really not that big.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's,
At all.
Yeah.
And Bryan works 20 to 40 minutes a night, 250 days a year is what she said. That's a lot.
Yeah, when she broke that down, I was like, God, that's an
Yeah.
intense schedule.
This is the first time he's had major surgery. He had like one other surgery in the past, I can't remember, but it wasn't anything too severe. But to be wrestling for that long and this being the first thing that kind of
So
takes you
tragic.
How long has he officially been out for?
out. He left, so like May.
Okay.
Ish.
So
Maybe
quite
6
a
months?
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, they haven't said when he can come back yet.
Yeah.
And the part on the show on Total Divas when he said that they might have to strip him of his titles, I'm like, oh my god, it does happen. It's sad.
So they did.
So he wins it at WrestleMania, has this big, huge moment. He only defends it one time, and then they have to take the belt off him after that.
Yeah. What's the rule again for how long you can
Technically, you have to wrestle for the belt every 30 days, but they've stopped kind of playing
Yeah.
by that rule for a while. They
So.
can make up whatever they want. So they're like, we don't remember that rule.
Yeah.
Is basically what they said. But yeah, I think in that case, I thought they might keep it on him just because he had so much momentum and everyone
Yeah.
with the yeses and all that. But
It's been so long, and I'm curious to see what happens when he comes back into the ring. How
Yeah.
how it's gonna affect everything. Okay, let's talk about Nikki and John, because this for me was kind of like a sensitive subject, because Nikki's in love with a guy that can't give her what she wants. That's really what the struggle is, right? Because she eventually wants to have children. She sees that more when she hangs out with her niece and her nephews. But John is adamant that that's not going to happen if he's with her. He even says, look, I know that I'm not the right one for you, when they're having dinner. So after he confronts her and she admits that she's taking these the shots, fertility shots, they have a discussion, and then she agrees not to go with it for a little bit. What do you guys think of all this?
She said, oh, that's fine, so quickly. I mean, it's $10,000 that she's basically thrown down the drain. Well, probably about $6,000 at this point because she hasn't had the surgery. But she's been through a lot of it, so it's probably on $6,000. But it's like, wow, you literally might as well flush that down the toilet as quickly as you said, oh, it's fine, I won't do it. I was shocked.
I thought that was kind of selfish on side Brie in this particular situation. Yeah. It was kind of selfish on his part to be like, I can't give you children, but it really hurts me if you want to freeze your eggs. Like, you can't do that to her.
You can't have the best of every world. Yeah.
This was the one time I thought John was kind of manipulative in this episode. Like, not maybe he didn't mean to be, but when he said, I'm not the one for you, I was just like, you're reverse psychology right now.
Yeah.
Completely. And she is buying every moment of it.
Yeah. That's girls think that.
So
I had no thoughts on that
You're
at
like,
all. I was like, oh, I guess.
Well, I was deep analyzing it at that moment.
You're a host, you should.
It took her 2.5 seconds to be like, oh, okay, you are the one for me. Okay, I won't.
She is very wishy-washy for almost everyone, it feels like. At least the people that we see her interact with. She's always like, oh, I shouldn't.
You're right.
I'm just like, what? You just changed your mind 4 times while we were watching you.
I think I'm a little bit like that too in general. So I see that in Nikki, but I think that she just loves John so much. Yeah. She really wants this to work. She's telling herself that if she is with John and nobody else, that is enough. But there's other outside forces that are saying that's not enough. You want, you hang out with your nieces and nephews and you get excited. The idea of getting married excites you, and she's kind of just struggling with what she really wants versus what she's okay with living,
And I think she always will struggle because those are two such intense feelings. I want kids, but I am in love with this person and he's great in every way, shape, and form except for that. And so I feel like she's just always going to struggle. I know, but there are so many other problems too that she doesn't have with him. So it's such a struggle.
He can be quite a guiding light, I find. I feel like both guys for the twins are very much they're just, I don't want to say spiritual leaders in a way. You know what I mean? But they kind of are like
guys.
Helping these girls grow in a lot of ways. And I think that John, up until this point, I've always thought John was good for her. And I also feel like this is a little bit storyline too, because we don't see him specifically say, you shouldn't do it per se. You know what I mean? Like, so they insinuate that that's how he feels. But outside of that one line about I'm not the man for you, which he would say out of like a self-deprecation moment anyways, I feel. I guess what I'm saying is I've hung out with John Cena just twice. And he talked about Nikki. No, that's not the point. But he talked about Nikki like incessantly the whole time. Like he seems very much in love with her. And I do feel that, I don't know, a lot of this could be a little storyline.
I mean, I think he definitely is in love with her, but he also knows that he just doesn't want that.
You can't have kids and have the life that he has. I don't know, especially when she shares that life with him. There's no one. What are you gonna have kids on the road?
And that was the thing when Brie said, "I want kids." So I think she didn't say now, but she insinuated soon
by 35.
It's like, well, how's that gonna work?
Yeah. Maybe that's why
Brie would be a stay-at-home mom.
Maybe that's why the worry of the income is gonna kick in.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know that yet, but
I feel like that would be lonely though, to be a stay-at-home mom, because Brian's gonna miss out on everything.
Yeah.
Especially based on his schedule when it picks back up.
Because, I mean, at least those developmental years, the first 3 years, I don't see how you could really do that on the road. I think once you're past that, then it could be like, we'll meet you in Phoenix or we'll meet you in LA or, whenever they come around. But I just don't see how you can do that with an infant.
Yeah. Now, what if, per se, John Cena decides, okay, I can retire now? Because he's got to be not like getting there, but at the same time,
Isn't he like
he's
38 or something?
Yeah, he's mid or late 30s somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe Nikki is holding out for that.
That's what
just
I
because
think.
girls think so far ahead.
Yeah.
That she could be holding out. That's what I would be thinking.
But that's the risk, and that's why I'm totally pro Brie, where it's like freeze your eggs.
That's
man.
I think that's why this is
Yeah.
happening, to be honest, because they've had that conversation,
Yeah.
and maybe they do have a timeline of 5 years or 7 years or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 2 really big movies coming out. He did a Judd Apatow movie, and then another one with Amy Schumer. I think Judd Apatow produced that one but didn't direct. But I mean, those are big roles for him, and so for maybe he can shift to being this sort of Brock Lesnar or part-time wrestler where he only comes and does the really big shows. Maybe he works 4 times a year, 6 times a year, whatever. Maybe that's the way that they're just holding out for that, you know. But right now he is the man, and there isn't anyone who's like there to take his place.
Yeah.
And he loves the business too much to just be like, well, screw it, I want to have a kid.
No, he's best for business.
Yeah, he is the business.
Yeah,
really,
he really is. And to be fair, at the end, John Cena completely supports her when she's like, look, this is something I really need to do. He even offers to be her chauffeur. And at the end of the day, it was a good ending for them, except when they talk about having twin vaginas with Brie.
Yeah, that's weird.
that moment
TMI.
came. I feel like you mentioned it last
goodness.
week, and then they brought it.
They brought it back out.
And I like John's reaction was so genuine. It was like, no.
Yeah, Nikki's like, I'm just
like,
kidding.
let's just
Well,
stop
I'm not kidding because we're twins, but
We know what his fantasy isn't.
Seriously.
After that comment.
and then he talks about how he's gonna get into a maid outfit. It just got
boy.
Yeah, it just got a
awkward.
little weird.
Yeah.
Got a little strange.
Is there anything else we want to talk about? Oh, let's talk about Brie and Nikki and like their relationship. What do you guys think of that? Like the sisterly love. Like when I'm watching them together, even though they were fighting, and then Nikki started saying like she's 100% evil one or whatever, I felt, you know, I wanted a sister at that point. I wish I had someone to confide in
Completely.
with everything.
I agree.
Yeah.
And who knows you, who will be there no matter what. I
Yeah.
mean, because Brie or Nick, one of them got up and walked out. And so you can't do that with that many people that you know are still
you
going to be
can't.
there. But they're stuck together, and they will be there through thick and thin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have a really awesome dynamic.
I thought it was cute when Brie walks out and she's like, what are you still doing here? And she's like,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting or whatever. It's like, okay.
Like you're not gonna leave your sister there.
Yeah. But I think like when when Nikki was calling her the evil sister, it was like a sign of things to come in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fun for television
Yeah.
that you can have this relationship because Danielle Bryan said once how, you know, they just go at it like cats and dogs sometimes. And then they're like, yeah, and I hate you and you're the worst thing ever. Should we get lunch? Or, you know, like just like that. And he's like, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But like for TV to have twins that can just like go at it and say the worst thing. Because even the way that Brie is talking to Nikki about the eggs is like, if you were not her twin sister, you'd be like, chill the F out. You know what I mean? Like, she says it in such a way that's just like, you're stupid. You know, basically is what she's saying.
Yeah.
But I love that they can do that and just have it, and they know that they love each other.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
With sisters, I just feel like you can fight really hard and then when you get that guilt trip afterwards, like, oh, this is my sister, so I should apologize. And it is like a really fast thing. And like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm the same way with my sister, and you shoot each other straight.
Yeah.
Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You're just like, this is gonna suck for you if you don't do it. So you should do it.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
the
gonna
best-
keep bothering you about it.
That's the best thing. I feel like that's the only person that won't tell you. I mean, your mom isn't going to do that. Most of your friends really aren't going to tell you that straight how it's going to be.
Because
Well, none of my friends do.
You wouldn't be their friend anymore.
Oh, hey.
Charlotte,
because
I'll
you
shoot
ha-
you straight.
Because it's that relationship where they don't know how you're going to take it. And then it's that awkward, well, now I don't want to talk to you, you know? That,
Yeah.
But when you have a sister, and I feel like when you have a twin, you just have a connection that's so
Completely
much
different
higher.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just basically always got to forgive. Like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to see you again, like very soon. Okay. All right, let's move on to some news and gossip. Look at that. That was on
TV
point.
News.
Okay, I jacked this from the E website, which is appropriate because Total Diva airs on
Yeah.
E. So there were some Total Diva sightings. First of all, Nikki and Brie were at the New York Fashion Week together, and it says to overlook their current feud. So I guess there's a feud brewing. right? Eva Marie was taking selfies of herself trying on wedding veils in addition to doing a practice walk down the aisle with her father, which is pretty interesting. Trinity hit the record studio to work on some music while Ariane went on a romantic date with her boyfriend, Vincent.
Vincent.
I know. Natty took some time to hang out with her fans, as always. I think Natty's like a huge fan favorite because she's always so excited with her fans and stuff. Summer Rae stopped by a fancy jewelry launch party. So there's a Summer Rae sighting for Total Divas fan. And Rosa Mendez celebrated one of her best friend's birthdays with a girls' night out and a fancy dinner.
Hopefully not in her birthday suit.
It's like in a nude color. Nikki also had a date night with her boyfriend John Cena, which leads us as an E! News, to believe that things are good between the two for now.
Yeah.
For now. And also this Sunday you can watch Nikki versus AJ Lee and Divas champion Paige at Night of Champions. That should be a good one. Because it's an interesting one because Brie and Nikki have a feud right now. So it kind of interlaps or will interlap with Total Divas. So I want you guys to watch it if you can.
Yeah, I think if anything, Brie might cost Nikki the belt or some. There's going to be some definite situation there that I'm sure will be put into the show we're watching.
Yeah. There was a Twitter question that I want to address because I love when people try to interact with us and actually successfully interact with us. Where is it? But basically, he's saying, I'm sorry, I'm looking for it. There it is. So Andrew Kirk says he was wondering if we would feel the same way if... Okay, sorry. Hey, Corey, can you guys talk on your after show today how it seems like Naomi and Brie act like the heels, which is the bad people, evil people, and the others are face. Do you guys think that's...
Naomi and
Brie seem like they're bad people, according to Andrew Kirk.
I don't get that vibe.
No.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe either.
I can see how on this episode Naomi's kind of portrayed to be the hard nut, how do you leave me? But and Brie, I guess, is being stern with Nikki, but I don't think they're necessarily bad being portrayed as bad.
Yeah, I don't think they're portrayed as bad. I just think there's just like a huge misunderstanding. Yeah, so I was just curious to see what you guys thought of that.
Yeah.
And also Ryan Whittleson, he says that JoJo is currently doing ring announcing in NXT and worked to take over 2 on Thursday, in case you guys
good for
wanted
her.
to know.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And keep the conversation going on Twitter, on YouTube, on iTunes. Rate, comment, and let us know how things go. And sorry about the Asian thing, about, Asians don't look as blonde. You might, but I don't. Wait, let's keep going. So look, 3 blondes and a brunette. All right, so where can everyone tweet out their questions to you guys?
I'm in the middle. You can tweet me at Charlotte B _TV.
You can tweet me at Danielle Elise P.
Dale.
You can tweet me at The Walking Dale. I love interacting with people. I do it all the time.
You do.
So hit us up.
Dale's a really good tweeter.
Oh yeah, I tweet profesh.
You got to start tweeting me. You don't tweet me.
Oh yeah, but I don't work out as much.
Yeah, she works
healthy?
out crazy.
I do eat healthy. But every time I go to say something to you, I'm just like, I really love the way you do stuff I don't do.
You know what's funny is it was Danielle's birthday this past Friday, right?
We got almost all the way through the show.
Yeah, I just had to because there was a picture. There was a picture on Instagram with you with a cake, and I'm like, she's not gonna eat that.
It was from True Foods Kitchen, so it's all organic and all that good stuff. It was just a mini cake.
Did you eat it?
I did eat it. I mean, I didn't eat the whole thing, but I had a couple bites. It was my birthday.
Danielle has a commendable body.
I also worked out that day.
Of course.
Oh, wait. Speaking of working out, before we go, I wanted to say that I looked up what Jonathan does. And he is a fitness professional or personality with Shreds, which is a supplement company. So he's one of their athletes. So he does have a very solid following in the fitness industry and does really well for himself in that. So I know we were kind of wondering about that last week. I just wanted to clarify that.
Wonder if he wants to transition.
I know.
He's older though, isn't he? Maybe a little older.
I think he is
she's
older
30.
than her.
I think I just burped into a mic.
And they
I'm sorry.
actually met because he trained her.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so he's a CrossFit athlete.
Oh,
and
interesting.
She
Makes
went to
sense.
him to train,
That's
and
how they
then
met.
the rest is history.
That's a way to meet like a buff guy or gal, depending. But all right, and
Gotta
you
go to those CrossFit gyms.
Yeah. I need to go to one. Okay. You can find me at KAORIOUS and wish Danielle a happy birthday.
Push if you must.
And we will catch you guys next week for episode 3. And there's no background music. There we go. Boom. Goodbye.
Thank you for the birthday wishes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.